This is WFYI News Now. It's August 27th, and I'm Abriana Herron. On today's show, racial disparities persist among Indianapolis veterans experiencing homelessness. Water advocates say they're worried about the EPA's plan to reduce PFAS in water systems. And new rules and an investigation are being proposed through the Indianapolis City County Council to address gaps in sexual harassment policy at the city.
We in the City Council take very seriously this health and safety of everyone inside this building and inside of our county.
Those stories are coming up, but first, a pair of new murals is planned for Broad Ripple Village. WFYI's Jill Sheridan reports the new artwork will reimagine the lost mural of a late local artist.
The mural of DJ and photojournalist Mposi Tolbert graced the side of a nightclub in Broad Ripple for 15 years before it was unexpectedly painted over last year. Now local organizations aim to have a new one installed. The Bridge Collective and the Broad Ripple Village Association have partnered to apply for matching funds from the state to create the artwork. BRVA Executive Director Jordan Dillon says as one of the original cultural districts in Indianapolis, the village has a history of vibrant public art.
Murals are such an important part of that as well. And having those murals there that speak to all different types of people.
A crowdfunding campaign seeks $12,500 for the Mposi piece in an adjoining mural of Ron Miner, a.k.a. DJ Indiana Jones, who died in 2020. I'm Jill Sheridan.
The number of Indianapolis veterans experiencing homelessness decreased last year, but racial disparities persist. An annual census of people experiencing homelessness in Marion County on a single night in January shows veterans experiencing homelessness dropped about 7% from 2023. Emmy Hildebrand, the CEO of Helping Veterans and Families, or HVAF, says the decline means current policies and programs to aid veterans are working.
We feel very strongly that no hero should be homeless, and we have a lot to offer to veterans who are struggling in our state, and we want to be a resource for those who deserve it most.
Veteran homelessness has been on the decline since 2016. However, African American veterans did see a 5% increase in homelessness. Black veterans also made up more than half of the vets who experienced homelessness in the census.
The data is pretty startling. Veterans are more likely to be homeless than non-veterans. They're more likely to face food insecurity than non-veterans. So as a community, we owe it to our veterans to be here to support them through their hard times.
She says HVAF, along with other community partners, are committed to reducing the number of Black residents experiencing homelessness 35% by 2025. The organization has reviewed all screening and enrollment documents and aims to remove bias. It is currently working with its diversity, equity, and inclusion team to ensure all of its households are offered the same level of service. HVAF is the largest nonprofit organization in the state dedicated to serving veterans facing homelessness. It recently expanded services to veterans in Terre Haute. The Environmental Protection Agency announced earlier this year that public water systems have until 2029 to reduce PFAS in water systems. Side Effects Public Media's Elizabeth Gabriel reports from the 7th Annual Indiana Water Summit that water advocates are concerned about the execution of this plan.
Almost 45% of the nation's drinking water contains PFAS. Those synthetic chemical compounds are also known as forever chemicals. They can cause multiple health problems such as increased cancer risk and cognitive issues. Nationwide, fixing waterways to no longer have these chemicals is projected to cost residents at least $37 billion over the next 5 years, according to the Association of State Drinking Water Administrators. Purdue and Notre Dame University professors say water resource experts are working to regulate the amount of PFAS in water by installing more carbon water filters in new water tunnel segments. But once those systems are updated, it's unclear where those materials will be deposited and who will pay for the waste management. Elizabeth Gabriel, Side Effects Public Media.
And for our final story today. As part of an effort to reform Indianapolis's sexual harassment policies after 3 women accused Mayor Joe Hogsett's former chief of staff of harassment and grooming, new rules and an investigation are being proposed. WFYI's Jill Sheridan reports.
One proposal that passed the Rules and Public Policy Committee will create a council committee investigation into the actions of Thomas Cook. The measure will employ an independent firm to investigate Cook's conduct and failures of current policy that include reporting procedures. Councilor Allie Brown said at a recent meeting that the moves are needed to restore trust.
Trust of not only the employees of the enterprise, present and past, but also the trust of the people of Indianapolis, that we in the city council take very seriously this health and safety of everyone inside this building and inside of our county.
Mayor Hogsett also recently signed an executive order to require sexual harassment training for all city employees. Annual training was previously required for only certain employees. I'm Jill Sheridan.
That's all for today's episode of WFYI News Now. Our podcast is produced by Drew Daudelin, with support from the news team at WFYI and public media journalists across the state. Our news director is Sarah Neal-Estes. Kendall Antron produced our music, and I'm your host, Abriana Herron. If you liked today's episode, remember to subscribe and share, and follow WFYI on Instagram, Facebook, and YouTube to check in on our newsroom throughout the day. Thanks for listening. We'll be back tomorrow.